It's Friday, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Not that I ever needed a reason for it to be 5 o'clock to pour me one, but let's start a new series. How about that? Cocktail chats. Friday fun, home zone. Anyways, we have our reasoning, we have some things to talk about. Let's pour up a drink and sit down and talk about it. Pouring it in my little Jamaica cup because let's go make a drink. So, it's funny to me, it's so funny to me that one of the last videos that's on this channel is me talking about how I haven't bought much furniture for this house yet and blah, 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 blah. It's a good thing because we are about to leave Jamaica. We are about to leave Mexico for Jamaica. Yes, I have decided it is final. We are going back our yard and I am actually so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so pleased. We're gonna get into all the details, but let's pour that drink. Let's pour that drink. This is the drink of choice today. It's called El Mezcalito. It is a product of Mexico here, of course, which means it is super affordable. This was like less than 40 pesos, which is like $2 for this whole bottle of, how much in this? 900, almost 1 full liter. Yeah, man, we're gonna pour a drink. Welcome to my airbed. Why am I sleeping on an airbed? Because I've already sold, I'd say 70% of the big bulky stuff already, including my bed. The things that are left have been claimed. I only have the small little knickknacks. This is the annoying part of moving. But that's not what you're here for. You wanna know why I'm leaving Mexico and why I'm so excited to go back home. There's a lot of chatter in the world right now about people wanting to leave their home country because of the political climate. I want to put it out to you all. Do not make any rash decisions on just emotions. Moving out of the country, it's a big decision and it takes more discernment than I had when I left. So I want to share with you some mistakes I made and some thoughts that I have. Just give some advice for anybody who is thinking about, like, legit thinking about moving out of their country to live in another country. Maybe you can learn from some of my mistakes, my learnings, and some of them are not mistakes. Some of them are genuine things that I found out. Like, you can't find these things out without actually experiencing, like actually moving. And with that said, you won't know until you go. Like, you literally have to like pack up, pick up and get out of here in order to like really figure this out. But there are some things that you can learn from other people's experiences, and so I want to share mine with you, and hopefully this resonates and you take from it whatever resonates for you. Let me take mistake number one, which is the biggest mistake that I made when I moved out of the country, is I did not have a emergency fund that was deep enough put in place. When I left my country to move to another country, I was in a stable enough job. I was making enough money that could sustain all 4 of us, because I packed up 4 people, myself included, and put them on my back and said, let's go. And it was fine when we just left. I was making enough money, things were going okay, but it was too tight. It was too close to, I need to make this much and more. There was not an ounce of wiggle room for any kind of drop in my income. And I did not have a deep enough emergency fund to say, if something happens, I can buy 4 plane tickets out of here immediately. Now, I am generally a fly-by-seat type of person, and I live my life on the philosophy that things always work out in my favor. And so even in the tough times when things aren't working out, I'll get through it because I've gotten through everything that I've ever been through so far. I'm here right now. I will get through it, but some things you don't have to go through. Some things you can plan better for. And I certainly, when I left, I did not have a deep enough emergency fund to say that if I lose my job, then I can sustain all 4 of us for at least 6 months, because that's the recommendation, that you should at least have 6 months worth of savings. Me never have that. Like when you walk in a Jamaican restaurant and you ask something and them say, me not have that, we not have that, me never have that. You have to have your finances properly in order before you pick up and leave your country, because whatever social space and grace that your country might extend to you, that's not going to happen elsewhere. And we have certainly seen enough GoFundMes go around to, for people who packed up and left, and stuff went left, and them have to pack up and go back where they come from. And a lot of people didn't even have the resources to go back where they come from. So don't make that happen to you. So if you're legit thinking about moving abroad, make sure that you have your financial situation airtight. Because I did end up losing that job that was already kind of cutting it very close, and and my emergency fund was not enough to sustain 4 people for however long it would have taken me to level off back. So mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is definitely we are creatures of habits. And I left Jamaica. One of my main reasons for leaving Jamaica was in search of more adventure, like just shaking up my life a little bit. I had already been working from home since 2018, before the big pandemic happened. So I was already kind of feeling to myself, why am I living this very suburban lifestyle as if I have ties to the country? Why am I not off exploring the world, doing the digital nomad thing? And I came to Mexico and I just reestablished all my routines. And I could have stayed in Jamaica for that. So if you want to do that, like if you're leaving your country because you have your routines established and you actually legit just want to move and set up back somewhere else where you feel, I guess, safer or whatever the case may be, then that's cool. So I guess point number 2 then is to make sure that you know what you're going for, and you have some kind of, you've done some research into what life looks like for people who are already on the ground. And remember that research is, a lot of us are sharing our highlight reels. So we might be sharing all the good points. We're not sharing the nitty-gritty and the bad things that happen to us in the country. Not all of us are going deep because we don't want to put everything about our lives online. So you want to make sure that you're doing research with people on the ground. And I think if you can get access to Facebook groups and WhatsApp groups of people who live in the areas that you're researching, that's going to be highly beneficial for you, because you'll get a feel of what people's day-to-day life is like. Because on social media, on YouTube and Instagram, and TikTok, you are only seeing the highlight reels, and you're not seeing the struggles that people have with getting gas and getting, how to rent somewhere and what the pitfalls are. Some of the things that people miss, you are not seeing what's happening. Like food items that people struggle to find, because even though you've decided to leave the comforts of your home, that's great, but a lot of us cling on to certain things to give us that feeling that we still have a connection with our home. And a lot of us do it with food, and I've seen a lot of people come here and they can't find certain ingredients to make recipes that they used to make back home, and it's frustrating for them because they want to have that sense of home even though they know they've moved out and they're in a new culture. And you go through all the culture shock and everything, you want to have a little piece of home with you. Thankfully, I can say that even though there are things from Jamaica that I absolutely love, and I can't wait to dig my teeth back into a big old escovitch fish, because as much as they're near the coast of Mexico, the fish, they just don't do it the same here. It's not the same. We want to go back to my yard, go eat escovitch fish. So, thankfully I can say that I was able to make do. So with that said, what are some of the things that, I came here and I realized that, okay, this was fun, but it's not fulfilling certain things that I wish it were. And here's why I'm leaving Mexico, and I'm not leaving Mexico for another country. I'm not leaving Mexico to go do that digital nomad thing that I thought I wanted to do. I'm going back on my yard. I'm going back to Jamaica. Why? This experience has definitely taught me that I don't want to live anywhere else, and I don't want to nomad. I don't want to travel around out of 2 suitcases, and I don't have, full-size hair things and skincare things, and I don't want that. I want to go in my kitchen and see my nice appliances, I'm a this, I'm a that. I don't want to do the Airbnb life at all. that's not where I am. I'm too old for that stuff. And it's funny that I can probably see myself doing it when I'm old. No, I can still see myself traveling a lot. But I want my house with my nice things, and my home base is going to be the country that I'm born and grow and will always welcome me back home. The country that I know their downfalls, I know the weaknesses of Jamaica, I know the frustrations of living in Jamaica, and the banking system and the road them and the crime and the taxi man them, and I know it all. And because I know it all, I know how to navigate it and go around it and get what I want done. I want to go back to a home. I want to go back to a home. I am looking for, I didn't know that I would feel such joy in saying, yeah man, me I go back from yard. Me I go back from Jamaica. I'm going back home. I tell people here that I'm leaving Mexico, and they're like, oh, you're going back to, where are you going back? And I say, I'm going back to Jamaica. And they're like, oh, I would go back too. And lots of people do ask me, why would you leave Jamaica to come to Mexico? And I didn't leave. Let me take a sip. Didn't I make a drink? Let me take a sip. Whew. Oh, that's so good. So I put some stevia in there, liquor lime juice. Oh, so good. I didn't leave Jamaica. I mean, yes, I left Jamaica because finances were getting tight there too. And I could have done one of two things. I could have just moved to somewhere cheaper, because that is always an option whatever country you're in. But I saw where I could have maintained a similar lifestyle in another country where my dollar goes further. And so I explored that because I've always wanted to travel. So I said, let me try it out. And I couldn't have known what I know now if I didn't try it out. And I don't want to live my life with regrets. I think everybody, no matter where you come from, if you have the opportunity to live somewhere else, you should, because it teaches you so much about yourself, about what you like and what you don't like. It teaches you so much to see how other people are living and getting along with each other and what they do and whatever. And you learn lessons that you can take back if you ever go home. So, so I didn't leave Jamaica because of any other really bad, horrible reasons, like I don't love I love my Jamaica. I love my Jamaica with all its ups and downs. I love my Jamaica. And so I'm so looking forward to go back with the knowledge that I have and the experience that I have now. So yeah, when people ask me why I left Jamaica, it was really just in search of adventure. I was not tied down to a desk or a job or anything like that. I saw the opportunity to go on the road and explore this world, and I took it. It is what it is. I'm not gonna say it didn't work out, because so many lessons were learned. And I got to come and explore and experience Mexico and live in another country, not just visit, visiting somewhere and doing all the touristy things. I got a chance to actually come and live in another country. And even my teenage daughter said to me, she said, Mommy, if I were to ever live in another country or move to another country, I would know what to do because of this experience. And I love that for my daughter. She has the knowledge of, she would know exactly what to do if she ever found herself in a strange space. She would know how to navigate because she's done it before and she's watched me do the things. So I love that. What I will say though, for people who are thinking of leaving their country because for whatever reason, the research is necessary to figure out what life is going to look like for you there, and if that is something that is manageable and sustainable for you. One of the big reasons that I'm moving back to Jamaica is for my social circle. A lot of people have come here and found their tribe and they are happy with the community that they've built. I have not managed to build that community, and I don't want to say it's not for a lack of trying. I will say it is more for, I prefer the community that I had, and since I have the option of going back and jumping right back into it, that's what I want to do. That's just simply what I want to do. Like, there's nothing like being around your true people and with the nuances of people who know you and know, it's just nothing like being around your fellow yard man. So I go back to be around my fellow yard man, and the level of social life that I was looking for, the level of social life that I had back home, I have not been able to recreate that here. and I don't think I would be able to recreate it here how I want. You know, it's different. It's just different. It's not a good difference. It's not a bad difference. It's just not the different that I want to pursue. And so I am like, I'm just gonna pull the plug and go back home. Now, it's very sudden. Like, as I said, like, I mean, I guess I work like that. When I make a decision, I just work with it. And this past week is when the decision was made, and almost all of my things are already sold. Like, almost all of my things are already sold. The tickets are booked. We're going back home. I'm super excited. And that's just kind of how I operate. So if you really and truly want to move out of your country, you have to take action. I have come across people who have been researching for years. At some point, you got to take some action. You've got to take some action and actually get it done. I would definitely tell you to not sell everything or not make a snap decision. You want to come down to whatever country you're considering and stay there for a good solid 3 months if you can, to get the vibe of the place, to attempt to start building community and just seeing if it is for you. Because I would never, ever, 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 ever advise someone to leave sight unseen and not knowing what the vibe is, and you have nowhere to go back home to because you've sold it all and you know you've just kind of decided. That's not a good decision. I don't have any regrets of like selling out and leaving my stuff, because stuff is things that you can get back, and there are still some things that I have in storage in Jamaica that I'm so happy I kept. But yeah, like, it's not about stuff. But if you have a house, for instance, like if you own a house, I would not suggest you sell it. I would try and rent it out if you can, and take that exploratory trip first. Come and live in the place for at least 3 months. You hear how much time I said? 3 months, not 2 weeks. Come and actually live the day-to-day life and see if this is something that you can do, because you don't want to up and leave everything that you've known and loved for however much years you've been there. Come to somewhere brand new with all its other customs and way of life and everything. That can drive somebody into depression. Like, don't do that. I think you have to have a certain mindset to begin with to get up and leave your country and say you're going to live somewhere else. But you can't do it sight unseen. You have to put your baby toe in first and kind of slowly immerse yourself into the cold waters until your body gets acclimated, and then you jump all the way in. It's very difficult to just dive deep in the deep end right away. It's very, very difficult. Anyways, that was my little chit chat, my little ramble today. If you start to see content shifting around on the channel, and I'm talking about Omasungan, this is why. Yes, I have made the decision to leave Mexico and go back to Jamaica. I am super excited. I can't wait, and I can't wait to bring you even more content about Jamaica, you know, finding back our place and doing that whole transition, getting Munchkin back in school. I'm so excited. But until then, if you have any questions, you want to ask me stuff about, you know, coming to Mexico and what that journey was like, you can definitely ask them in the comments down below. Why did I make this snap decision? There definitely was an event that happened, and I'll talk about it maybe, I don't know, give me a few days to like decompress from it. But the attitude that I have now coming out of it, I'm super happy. I'm super happy with the decision that I've made, and I cannot wait to get home. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm really, really looking forward to it. If you've made it this far in the video, share with me your favorite cocktail. If we were at your house kiki, what would you have poured in your cup? This is my mezcalita because I'm in Mexico, so that's what I'm having. Let me know what your drink of choice would be if I was over and we were kiki at your house. So cheers. Jamaica one love. I'll see you soon. My name is Monique, and this is the Traveling Jamaican.